Turn your mics on.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll begin the meeting with a moment of silence and noting what yesterday signified. We'll keep in our thoughts and prayers the relatives of those who were killed at 9/11. This meeting is also being recorded and televised by the local cable company. I'd like a motion to approve bill and payroll warrants.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to accept correspondence in the read file.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Public forum, now is the time for anybody to speak who has something that they'd like to talk about that's not on the agenda. Approval of meeting minutes, open session, August 15th, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And now we've come to a swearing-in ceremony for firefighter EMT Basic Ryan S. Enton. Chief.
Honorable Board, Town Administrator, thank you all for taking the time tonight to witness the swearing-in of our newest firefighter. Tonight marks a milestone in the history of the fire department and the town of Whitman. Tonight we swear in our 22nd member of Whitman Fire Rescue. As you know, over the years, we have operated at 5-person shifts, and I've come before this board several times requesting additional staffing. For more than 50 years, we've maintained a 20-member department. Tonight, we make history. Tonight, we make the citizens of Whitman much safer. For years, our emergency call volume has far outweighed our resources. It has been years, and finally, through tight budgeting, moving of funds from ambulance revenues account, and other options, we were successful over the winter to add the 22nd member to our department. As you know, we also passed an override which authorized the hiring of 3 additional firefighters. They have been hired, and they're currently orienting with the department, and they're scheduled to attend the Mass Fire Academy in December. They will be graduating in February, which at that time will bring all shifts to 6 members. A historic and proud occasion for this department and for this town. And I thank you for your continued support on that endeavor. Tonight, we swear in firefighter Ryan Benton. Firefighter Benton was hired off the Massachusetts Civil Service list. When I requested the list back in December, I was given a list of 13 candidates. Civil Service requires that the appointment be out of the top 3 candidates who signed the list, as will accept. The first 4 candidates never signed the list. 4 candidates were tied for number 5, which included firefighter Benton. Only 3 tied for number 5 signed the list. After 3 signed, it was discovered that one of them didn't even have their EMT, so it narrowed the field down to 2 candidates. Firefighter Benton and the person that he was tied with. So how do you make a split decision with 2 candidates who were both Whitman residents, who were born and raised in the town, who want to serve the town that they were born and raised in and have gone to school in? So it came down to determination, character. A lot of things came into play. In the fall of 2012, firefighter Benton came to me, and he asked what he could do to become a firefighter. He knew at that time, being the son of a police officer, that firemen were the police officer's heroes, and he wanted to be his dad's hero. Isn't that correct, Chief?
Well, if we just go with what you're saying, I guess right now.
So I enrolled Ryan on the Call Fire Department, and I signed him up for the Call Volunteer Academy through the Mass Fire Academy Fall River program. That program is a strenuous program. It's 6 months in length, 2 nights a week and Saturdays, 6 months of his life. He finished the program with high grades, and after he graduated that academy in the spring of 13, he asked me, okay, Chief, what do I do next? I said, well, Ryan, you should really go to EMT school. So what did he do? He went to EMT school. And when he finished EMT school, he came back to me again and said, what do I do now? I said, if you really want to be a firefighter or not a cop, you need to go to paramedic school, which is a year-long, expensive endeavor, which is pretty much full-time, and it really takes your heart and soul to make it through the program. Ryan went to paramedic school. He went to school, he enrolled in it, he successfully completed the program, and is now awaiting his final test to become a certified paramedic, which he takes in about 2 weeks. So by far, Ryan Benton was the most qualified candidate. He is energetic, he's dedicated, and he's determined. And it's because of his determination that he is before you here tonight. Firefighter Benton is a 26-year-old Whitman resident, 2009 graduate from Whitman-Hanson Regional High School. He attended both Massasoit Community College and UMass Dartmouth. Firefighter Benton successfully completed Mass Fire Academy recruit class number 255 on July 14th. He's completed all of his department orientation, and he is now assigned to group number 4, which is the first 6-person shift, under the command of Lieutenant Cunningham. I would now like to ask Town Clerk Don Varley and Firefighter Ryan Benton to step forward so Don can do the official swearing in.
Closer, Ryan.
Boy, you're famous, huh? Jeez. Okay, you're gonna raise your right hand and you're gonna repeat after me, okay? I, Ryan S. Benton,
I, Ryan S. Benton,
promise to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
promise to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the laws of the Commonwealth
the laws of the Commonwealth
of Massachusetts,
of Massachusetts,
and the town bylaws
and the town bylaws
of the town of Whitman.
of the town of Whitman.
I promise to bring my profession,
I promise to bring my profession,
standards of quality
standards of quality
and integrity,
and integrity,
so that the conduct
so that the conduct
of the affairs of my office
of the affairs of my office
shall be above reproach
shall be above reproach
and merit
and merit
public confidence
public confidence
in the position of
in the position of
firefighter EMT.
firefighter EMT.
I promise to uphold such laws
I promise to uphold such laws
and bylaws
and bylaws
to which the office of
to which the office of
firefighter EMT
firefighter EMT
may be subject.
may be subject.
I, Ryan S. Benton,
I, Ryan S. Benton,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will perform the duties
that I'll perform the duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as firefighter EMT
as firefighter EMT
for the town of Whitman
for the town of Whitman
in good faith
in good faith
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, sir,
Thank you very much.
and welcome aboard. Yep, you'll stay up here, okay?
I would now like to ask Ryan's father, Police Chief Scott Benton, to please pin his badge.
Congratulations, Chief.
Good luck. Now, there may be a number of you who are here for that swearing-in ceremony, and I understand you have a celebration to go to, so please feel free to leave and do so. Congratulations, Chief.
Well, you know how to enter your own.
What? I'm used to it. Next item on the agenda is to take action to appoint the following as permanent reserve intermittent officers: Keith Holland, Jacob Dodge, Ryan Hickey, Richard Belcher, Michael Brady, William Feltrup, Christopher Ezepik, Lester Bradshaw, Patrick Hickey, Kelly Travers, Patrick O'Brien, Finley Walsh, and Robert S. Hoey. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Frank, do you want to?
Yes,
Explain.
Mr. Chairman, the department, by virtue of appointments and attrition, has lost all of its reserves. This is the first reserve appointment that we've done in quite some time. The police department was asked to evaluate, interview, and investigate the backgrounds of all of the applicants. That was done. The investigations were thorough. The interviews were conducted in a group setting. By group setting, I mean the chief, sergeant, and other police personnel. And the recommendations that you have in front of you are the requests for appointments that they've made. There were two individuals that were bypassed in this process, and the bypass has been documented by the chief, and I concur with the request for these appointments.
Okay, does anyone have any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Now it's time to recognize Mark Poirier and Stephen Brooks of Whitman and Casey Grindle of Halifax, who completed the Mass State Police Student Trooper Academy, sponsored by the Whitman American Legion Post number 22. And I think we have Mark and Stephen here. I'll read those. You're gonna get a little citation. Certificate of Achievement. The Whitman Board of Selectmen hereby recommends Mark Poirier on having successfully completed the 2017 Massachusetts State Police Student Police Academy, signed by the Selectmen, September 12, 2017. Mark, congratulations. That's great.
Congratulations, Mark.
Same Certificate of Achievement for Stephen Brooks, September 12, 2017. Stephen, congratulations. Nice work.
Congratulations, Stephen.
Congratulations.
The student training program is something that's been around for quite a while. In fact, one of my sons back in 2003 did that training along with the daughter of a former state representative, Michael Sullivan. And we have a tradition of sending young men and women to these programs, and occasionally we see them coming on to the departments in the area. It's a challenging course. I think when Ben came back, it took him 6 weeks to get out of the habit of addressing me as sir.
It's too bad. Too bad it stopped.
His employer highly recommended the program.
What does he call you now? No, never mind.
But I do want to recognize that these young men have really taken on a challenge and have accomplished it, and congratulations are definitely in order for them.
Okay. And remember the sir part? You got 6 months to do that, guys. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Act on the request to appoint Marjorie A. Adams as special counsel for property foreclosure actions. Frank?
Yes, we have taken a property in foreclosure at 1030 Temple Street. It is now necessary to take the legal steps to vacate the property, take control of it, and dispose of it, and that's not something normally done by town council. Marjorie is recommended by the attorney we use for tax titles. I've met with her, very comfortable with her representation. I request the board make that special counsel appointment.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Act on the request of Town Clerk Don Varley to issue a warrant for unlicensed dogs to the Animal Control Officer.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Frank, do we know how many we have?
The number 720-odd dogs seems
Unlicensed
to
dogs?
strike me.
And do we know how many licensed dogs?
1,400, I think.
1,400?
I think it's a little over 1,400.
Yeah, it's a large number.
It's over.
Typically, what happens each year is pets die or people move, but the registrations aren't withdrawn.
Right.
So we go through them and we find over time that many of them are just no longer around, and many of them are just people who didn't get around licensing. And in some ways, I think our licensing procedure may have discouraged people once they're late, because there's a $25 fine associated with late registration.
I have a question.
Yes.
I was talking to the day animal control officer, and she had mentioned she got the list, and she mentioned to me that, being that there's over 700, she wanted to know if she was supposed to call them all. And I remember in the past that we had an intern at the police department that did a lot of those calls.
I don't believe we have an intern available right now to do those things. But I do know that the clerk sends out notices and follow up, and, ultimately we'll do whatever's necessary to get it done.
Because I ran into her at the coffee shop, and I could just imagine how many coffees it would take to go through calling over 700 people about their dog. Seems like a long time.
Yeah, they used to have an intern in the department that did it, because I remember getting a call once on our dog years and years ago.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, Molly the outlaw
that
poodle,
incident. Anyway, I was just checking.
who never left the yard,
It
but
just-
but she was unlicensed,
It
and
just seemed like a lot of calls. to
put a
me.
bag over her head and sent her out in the neighborhood. But we're better now. We
I'm glad you've seen the light.
While we're on the topic of animal control, I would like to inform the board that I have been in discussions with the Board of Health, and I believe tonight the Board of Health is going to vote with the approval of the selectmen to take responsibility for animal control. There are a number of reasons why we would do that. Health issues relating to vaccines, rabies, and other issues, which are the responsibility of the Board of Health. To begin with, the animal inspector is appointed by the Board of Health, and the ACOs will be appointed as assistants. Certainly, I don't want to take any work away from the Whitman Police Department, but it might provide for a more organized system, with dispatch handling the calls coming in and allocating them, and health spending a regular amount of time, at least initially, getting things in order. So
sounds good.
just wanted to make the board aware of that.
Do we need to vote that?
I would hold the vote until they vote.
Until they vote.
Okay.
Okay. So at our next meeting, we'll probably solidify
That
it.
could be an agenda item on our next meeting. Unless, of course, the police protest that move.
Next item is to act on the request of Officer Kevin Harrington to hold the 24th Annual Cruisin' New England Spooktacular Cruisin' Classic Car Show on Memorial Field on Sunday, October 8th, 2017, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Finally, to vote to authorize resolution for lease purchase of a police cruiser. Frank?
Yes, the town meeting voted in May to authorize the lease purchase of a cruiser. In order to complete that transaction, we need a corporate resolution from the Board of Selectmen authorizing the lease purchase contract.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. That exhausts the new business. Frank, anything that you want to add to the discussion as we go around the board?
Not at this time.
Okay. Yes, Randy?
Again, I just want to thank these gentlemen for their commitment over the summer and thank the Legion once again for sponsoring them.
I just want to give a shout out to our missing in
That
action
is a point.
selectman. He had some surgery and he's doing well. I've been in contact with him and he seems to be okay and he might even show up next week. So,
Yeah, he's chomping at the bit.
Yeah,
He hates
yeah.
to miss a meeting.
yeah, I just wanted to
He's watching, trust me.
give him our best wishes and hope for a speedy recovery.
Very good.
You know, one thing I should have mentioned, I didn't before, the American Legion sponsored the young men that went to the State Police Academy. There is a sponsoring organization. And from what I recall, most of the young people we've sent to those academies were sponsored by the American Legion. So I'd be remiss in not acknowledging their contribution.
As a former American Legion post baseball player, but not from this zone, I will echo what you just said. Love the American Legion. Especially the Morissette post from Quincy. But that's beside it. That's beside it. We need to go into executive session in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Exception 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining. Is there a motion?
So move.
So,
Votes?
Yes.
Yes?
Just an added note, and potential litigation.
Potential, the reason is potential litigation. And we will be coming back in open session only to adjourn.